Super cold out tonight. It's about minus 30. Probably only going to last about 20 minutes till the phone dies. So let's see what we can do. Tonight we're splitting wood and chat with you guys. I'm just going to get right to it. Let's just adjust that camera angle. I do have a crazy light behind here, so hopefully that keeps the phone warm enough to last a little bit. This entire pant leg is frozen solid right now, so that's no fun. But let's dig out a piece of wood and get this show started. Oh, I was just out delivering some water to my cows, and some must have splashed on this leg because it is frozen solid. I'm going to make some quick work of this. If you guys want to chat, feel free to join me and chat in the comments, and I'll be chatting back. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate your patronage. If you're a new viewer, ask away. We're off grid at the homestead, and we're keeping the house warm via wood. So, on this cold minus 30-degree night, we are just going to split some wood, add it to our storage bin, and try to stay warm tonight. The phone usually lasts, I don't know, anywhere around 15, 20 minutes before the battery dies. When it's this cold, let's see how long we get. We are dressed extra dapper tonight. My main jacket was left at work. So we are sharp dressed tonight while we make quick work of the wood pile. Uh, uh, Despite it being really cold, it is a lovely night, as I hope it is for all of you. Just off screen there, I have a storage bin that I'm throwing the wood to. I'm gonna pull it a little closer. How's it going, guys? She is a cold and frosty one tonight. Gotta dig some wood out of the snowbank. 1 second. I have my beautiful spotlight shining so that I can see you guys. Waterman, hello. Braden, how you doing? Can you guys hear me okay? We're rocking the Apple earbuds tonight. I can't tell how the volume is for you guys. I hope that you can hear me fine. It's minus 30 out, so I don't know how long the phone will last. There we go. That was beautiful. Uh, there's only 10 people here, and yeah, I assume that means you can hear me. We just got the live stream started. It's freezing cold tonight. My right pant leg is frozen solid. I was delivering some water to the animals. Must have splashed some on my leg. Oh, so that pant leg is frozen completely solid right now. A little chilly. That's okay. Feel free to chat, guys. I'm just out here splitting wood. Feel like I'll chat with you guys while I get it done. And eventually the phone will die because it is freezing cold out and the phone does not like the cold. Got a nice knot in this one. Well, I think one good split and she'll go. That piece broke off anyway. If you see me coming up to the screen and looking closely, it's because I got the spotlight behind it. And so it's hard to make out any text. So I kind of got to stare awkwardly at you guys. Despite it being cold, it is rather nice out tonight. There was a gnarly wind earlier today that drives that cold deep in the bones. Thankfully, that wind has died down. Waterman, why are you splitting wood? Are you making a fire to get warm? Yeah, I live off grid, meaning I don't have electricity to my house, and I heat it with a wood stove. So we're splitting wood to heat the house. Without it, it'll be very cold out, and pipes will freeze, and we do not want that. We've had that happen once this year already. Also, be my champion here and tell me when I walk away, can you still hear me well? I'm assuming that the mic is picking up from my earbuds, although I haven't streamed with them before. Normally, I just stare at the screen and yell. So I'm assuming you can hear every grunt, even when I walk away from the camera. Correct me if I'm wrong. The saying goes that wood is the type of heat that gets to heat you 3 times. Once when you fell the tree, once when you stack it, slash split it, and once when you burn it. And so we are at the splitting phase, and tonight we will be burning. Uh, yeah, we hear you. Bernie, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I picked up a pair of Apple earbuds, and they have noise canceling. They're lovely little things, although I can't tell how loud I'm screaming at you guys until I get used to them anyway, and I can't tell how well you can hear me. I know my hat is on, and I hope it's not making a ton of static. If it is, let me know. But I'm hoping it's picking up the volume okay, even when I'm bent over and not looking at the screen. It's a cold one tonight. I have no idea how long the phone will last. It might only last 10 more minutes. It's really hard to say. Usually when it's around this minus 25, minus 30, we get about 15, 20 minutes out of the phone until she dies. I'm abusing the battery. I do have it plugged in tonight. Not the best for the phone, but I'm hoping it makes it last a little longer. I'm talking about getting an iPhone 16 Pro Max next, although it's not a huge upgrade from my iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I'm kind of waiting until I kill the thing. Ryan, welcome back, Ryan. What's going on? I literally just referred you to another channel who's interested in homesteading. Well, Ryan, I appreciate you doing that. Ryan, I don't think I've asked. Do you have a YouTube channel of your own? I know you're a football fan, but I haven't asked if you do YouTubing as well. And since you're saying you recommended it to another channel, then maybe you do. Uh, Full throttle. Welcome back. I see. Sounds great. Good. Perfect. Loud and clear. Awesome. I know when it is windy and I just have the phone going, it picks up a lot of background noise. When I play the streams back, I can hear the wind. So I'm kind of banking on the volume being a little better with these headphones. And if so, it'll be a worthy investment. I really bought so they're the AirPod 4th generation, the newest ones with noise canceling. And as much as I love you guys, the main reason wasn't the live streaming. It was because at my work, I do a lot of work in a loader, especially in the winter here, removing snow from my various parking lots. And so it's loud and I take a lot of phone calls. And so I figured instead of having to idle down the loader every time I got to take a phone call, I'd get some noise canceling headphones. And so far, so good. Although the noise canceling part is hard to get used to at first. It's lovely, but hard to get used to. I can't hear how loud you're talking. Other people you can't hear. But in a noisy environment, like in the wind or in a loader, they're pretty amazing. And the fact that I can talk to you guys and keep busy. No, I don't. I was just on another live with a couple who are going to get into your type of lifestyle soon. Yeah, I mean, recommend them over if they've got any questions. I've been doing this for a year and a half now. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily the most knowledgeable, although I did jump right into it, full off-grid homestead, 156 acres off-grid. And I've got cows and ducks and rabbits. And I do have advice for anyone wanting to get started. You know, the animals that are most feasible, the ones that aren't, the ones that are the easiest, and maybe the ones that are the hardest. But we've had a lot of time to work this out and plan it and think about it before doing it. The one thing I try to tell people though is it is just that it is a lifestyle. It is almost impossible to do this self-sufficient without at least someone working in the house. I thankfully have a pretty well-paying job and can fund it, but especially the off-grid part. One thing people don't think about, to get the off-grid part set up, to do it right, if you're doing it from scratch, you're probably looking at about $35,000. If you're going to stay modest, you can go anywhere up to 80,000 with a bigger system and a bigger house. So it is not cheap, and it's a long-term payback. And those batteries, which I spent $10,000 on batteries, they're only good for about 10 years. So every 10 years, you got a big expense. So, I mean, the off-grid part is the hard part. Waterman. I don't use Apple, I use Samsung, but my brother has the second generation AirPods, and my other brother has 3 generation Samsung Buds. I also have a rabbit. I call him Tubby. I have, what do I have now? I think I have 5 rabbits. Uh, if yours is a pet, you might not like hearing this, but mine are homestead rabbits, which means they are my breeders. They have babies, we raise them, and then we sell them and eat them. The breeders I keep as pets and I treat them well. They're in a colony style. They've got about a 14-foot by 14-foot enclosed canopy that they live in, and I let them live there together. Except I do have separate cages for the boys. For like right now, I remove the boys from the females while it's really cold. That way we don't accidentally have a litter while it's this cold, so that nobody freezes and dies. So I do separate out the boys into cages, but when the weather warms up, I let them gentlemen back in. I have 2 males, and I suppose I got 3 females. Ah, we've had a handful of successful litters. We've sold a lot to friends, and like I said, I try to separate out the boys so that we're not having babies in this extreme cold. It is just too cold for them. And being off grid, it's hard to keep them heated. You have 2 ducks and like 30 chicken and dogs. I hope it's 30 chickens and a couple dogs, not 30 dogs. That would be aggressive. I also have ducks. What kind of ducks do you have? I have 6 Pekin ducks. Pekin, however you want to say that name. I had an Indian runner as well, a goofy looking, beautiful bird. But unfortunately, one of my ducks decided he was not part of the team, and he is no longer with us. Animals will be cruel sometimes, but the remaining 6 ducks are happy and healthy. Unfortunately, my neighbor down the road, maybe 5 kilometers from me, my closest neighbor, they had a group of foxes get into their duck house and murdered all their ducks. My ducks, if you check out my channel, you'll see I built a log cabin for my ducks. So my ducks are pretty well protected. They have a whole house that they're living in, and they've got access to a fenced-in field when I let them out, and they also have access to my 3-acre fenced-in area for the spring, summer, fall that I let them graze under supervision during the day. I don't put them out there all the time though, because them night predators will scoop them up. 2 ducks, 30 chickens. I don't know a lot about ducks, but one is green and the other is brown and likes to make a lot of noise. It's a female, the brown one. The males make more of a squawk. They're a little quieter. The females are your quackers. They're the ones that let out a big quack. Something I learned upon having my own ducks. Green almost sounds like a mallard, although I don't think most people have mallards as, or pure mallards anyway, as pets, but maybe it's a mallard pekin, mallard pekin. If anyone else knows more about ducks than me, correct me. Try Googling a mallard pekin duck I think it's Pekin, Pekin, and see if that looks like your duck. I had a couple of Muscovy ducks, and they were handsome birds, but they were two males, and they weren't compatible breeders with my Pekins. So we butchered them for meat, but they were beautiful big birds, a lot of meat on them. But what happens is when a Pekin mates with a Muscovy, you end up getting what's called, is it a mule duck? Mule, mule duck. It's sterile. They can have babies, but those babies become sterile, and so you can't keep breeding them. And our goal is to keep breeding them. So it wasn't a good fit for us. There are also a lot of possums trying to get my chickens. Yeah, we have some weasels, long-tailed weasels, and some um, fishers and marten. Um, yeah, we got a lot of those kind of weaselly type animals. No possums here that I know of, but you do have to watch for them. One weasel in the duck house, and you'll lose all your ducks. So that's why we got them well secured. I built them a whole lodge. Oh, I have a nice YouTube short, just a short clip that shows off their little house. It's a full-on house with a metal roof, doors, log cabin style. It was a fun build. I harvested the logs off my own property, debarked them, dragged them out of the bush, cut them to size, and then put them all together. It's quite the little house. If it was daytime, I would bring you over there and show you. But as black as it is behind me, is all around, so there's nothing to show. Not tonight, anyway. I do have a short that I posted a couple days ago or last week that also shows off the duck lodge. So if you want to check out what the duck lodge looks like, it's straight up a little log cabin for the ducks. It's about, what is it? About 10 feet by 10 feet. Nice little building for them. They're nice and cozy. Canada isn't playing any games with the tariffs, LOL. Well, you know what? It's so silly. If we'll take a little political interlude. So I haven't looked fully into Trump's demands, but from what I hear is Canada, you got to do better, secure your border, stop the drugs from coming over. And then Canada's response is, no, I don't want to. I'm going to take your beer off my shelves and tax your peanut butter. Now, the reason that is a stupid idea because we can't grow peanuts in Canada, which just means we need to import our foods and our processed goods from further away, which is just as unfeasible. More likely, what's going to happen is we'll continue to import the same goods and just pay more taxes to the US. And I think it makes a lot more sense to try to secure the border. Now, I don't know exactly what level he wants us to do that, because as you know, our border stretches wide and vast. And so it's virtually impossible to secure the whole thing. But if it's just a matter of police the stops we have and any known illegal crossings, put up a little border patrol, then I don't see why we wouldn't do that. I also have two birds. I had four, but three ran away, and my parents bought another one. What kind of birds are they? Are we talking like parrots, parakeets, chickadees? What kind of birds are we talking? Ryan, what do you think about the tariffs? I see that Mexico is at least willing to play nice, and they're they are in discussions, and so they're freezing the tariffs for a month. But I think the Canadian response of you put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on you, is a terrible idea, especially since we have the weaker economy. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I am not opposed to the 51st state idea, although in my mind, I would want some protections and some rights in place to make sure that the resources don't just get cherry picked and squandered. I mean, if it's treated like actual, it couldn't be the 51st state. Canada, it's like a third the size of the US. To have one state that's that big and that many people doesn't really make sense. I think if you redrew some of the provinces and made it, the 51st all the way to the 55th state, then maybe, and you did give actual autonomy to the states, sure. But to try to group the whole country as one state, that doesn't make sense. Not to me, anyway. Very small birds. That's not very descriptive. What are they? Songbirds? Can you describe them? What do they look like? Small birds. Are they in the house in cages, I assume? Tell me a bit about them. Do your parents let them out of cages? Do they fly around the house? Are they out in the field? You said you had some rabbits and ducks and stuff, so are they out in the yard? I had or have some magpies that hang out. Oh. And they're beautiful birds, except they try to terrorize my rabbits. So I got to make sure I keep the magpies out of the rabbit hutch area. Oh, they are not very nice. They're a predatory type bird. They'll come in there, they'll eat their food, they'll try to peck at them, scratch at them. They are not very nice. If I'm not careful, they will eat their babies. Oh, that one bounced with a dull thud. We are at 21 minutes. If my phone dies, I apologize. It's minus 30, as you can tell by the ice on my beard. Oh. And so if the phone dies, it's because it does not like the cold. Ernie says, stop talking politics. Justin Anderson, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good night. Yeah, the politics are kind of boring right now. It'll be interesting to see what our government does. There's a provincial